Good night. Good night. Welcome back, everyone, to the Odyssey podcast. Yes, it's your girl, Word Justice, back with some breaking news. I definitely wanted to come in and drop in on you guys just to, give you a little tea about what's been going on. Listen, y'all, ASAP Rocky was arrested out. Well, let me make it right. ASAP Rocky out on bonds after LAX arrest in November shooting. And it seems like he has got locked up and they probably ain't trying to let him out. The rapper was arriving on a private plane from the Barbados where he had been on vacation with his girlfriend, the singer Rihanna. Mm. Raheem Mayers, better known as ASAP Rocky, was arrested Wednesday at Los Angeles International Airport in connection with a shooting in November. According to the Los Angeles Police Department, Mayers was arriving on a private plane from Barbados where he had been on vacation with his girlfriend, the singer Rihanna. According to multiple law enforcement sources familiar with the matter, Rihanna was with Mayers when he was arrested, and a search warrant has been executed at Mayers' residence in Los Angeles. Mayers' attorney, Alan Jackson, confirmed that his client had been arrested. Mayers was booked into jail at 12:42 p.m. and bail was set at 550,000 according to the LA County Sheriff's Department booking report. He was released less than 3 hours later after posting bond, the records show, and has a court date set for August 17th. Maris is the suspect in a November 6th shooting near Vista Del Mar and Salem Avenue around 10:20 p.m. According to the LAPD, the shooting victim later told police that Mares, who was walking with two others, approached him with a handgun on the street. The victim claimed that Mares shot at him 3 or 4 times and that he believed one of the bullets grazed his left hand, according to police reports. The shooting had not yet been reported in the media. In a statement on Twitter after publication of this article, police gave details of the November incident and said early this morning LAPD officers arrested Mears for assault with a deadly weapon firearm at the Los Angeles International Airport. The case will be presented to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for filing consideration. Police said the shooting occurred after an argument between two acquaintances escalated. Police made the arrest with assistance from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Homeland Security Investigation Team in January. Rihanna announced that she was pregnant with her first child in March. She told the magazine Elle she was in their third trimester. She turned 34 in February. In 2019, Mares, now 33, was arrested in Sweden after a fight on the street between his entourage and two men. Then President Donald Trump fought for his release, warning Sweden it would face negative consequences if he was not freed. He was convicted of assault, given a suspended prison sentence, and had to pay more than 1,000 in damages. He served a month in jail before the sentences was handed down, so he did not have to serve any additional time. Representatives for ASAP Rocky and Rihanna did not immediately respond to requests for comment. So, y'all, it seems like they are trying to put the handcuffs on ASAP Rocky. And I feel like it was a long time coming in the sense that they were just waiting around to figure out a way to be able to get him. Because for not for nothing, he hasn't really been involved in too much. I did hear about the whole situation that went down in Sweden with him and his entourage, but I also knew that it had to do with him, defending himself and then his entourage taking play within that situation to come to his defense. Um, I feel it for Rihanna really and truly, especially when you know to yourself, like, all right, you guys know that you're out for him for the wrong reasons, and this situation could have been dealt with. But like always, when it comes down to like these cases and court cases, they like to drag and drag and drag on. It's a money thing, in my opinion. It's definitely a money thing. So I definitely wanted to dive in that and let you guys know to look forward to that story because it seems like really and truly they trying to lock down ASAP Rocky. And I mean, for me, I feel bad, like I said, because I feel like he needs to be here for Rihanna. It's his first baby, it's her first baby, and it's a whole lot going on with that. For those who understand and feel what I'm saying when it comes down to you being a new parent and you want to be there for every moment, you don't want to miss out on anything. And I just think that they're reaching when it comes down to trying to lock him up for a situation that took place that could have been handled long time ago. I don't know how I feel when it comes down to how like the police system, the jail system, the court system, all of it, how all of it works, it definitely always baffles my mind. I also want to say a R.I.P. guys. Let's say a R.I.P. to DJ K Slay. DJ K Slay has passed away, guys. He has passed away from COVID, from what I'm understanding. And I want to give my condolences to his family. It's hard to lose a loved one. He was born August 14th. He died April 17th. Um, I mean, he was a good DJ, you know what I'm saying? He had associates, Busta Rhymes, G Unit, Ghostface Killer, Craig Street, Papoose, Mano, and those are just to name a couple. Ray J, Uncle Murda, etc. And those are just to name a couple. Um, and like I said, RIP and my condolences to his family. DJ K. Slade, an influence member of the New York hip hop scene whose Ruckus mixtape became legendary, has died from COVID-19 complication. His family confirmed his death through a statement released by New York hip hop radio station Hot 97. He was 55. K. Slade, whose real name was Keith Grayson, was a DJ at Hot 97, but he had been a star of the genre since the early 1990s when mixtapes he produced featured up and comers and superstar rappers like Jay Z and later Eminem. Documentary Style Wars, which explored New Yorkers' hip hop scene, then an East Harlem graffiti artist, primarily using the name Dez. He tagged the sides of the subway train cars, calling himself the king of the number three train. His depth of experience as a young artist growing up during the rise of Grandmaster Flash and the Sugar Hill Gang, and later as a producer in his own right, introduced him to major artists. He released over 500 mixtapes in 10 years since in 1994, per previous reports featuring artists going tit for tat with each other on tracks rarely found on the radio. The mixtape K-Slay executive produced re- reverberated far outside the New York in 2003. The New York Times said that the hip hop profile, hip hop beef in the last 3 years began or ended on a K-Slay tape, including tiffs between Nas and Jay Z. K Slade took the calling himself, the drama king, because of the years long feud that began and later sometimes ended on his tapes. His debut album, 2003, The Street Sweepers Volume 1, was the first market to a national audience. It featured 50 Cent, Nas, Eminem, among many others, performing songs primarily produced by other artists along with its follow up. He also worked closely with the artist Papoose, with whom he left Jive Records to record independently. The game was boring until I came around, he told the Times in 2003. I brought the controversy back. I brought the game back to life. For years, K Slade hosted the Drama Hour on Hot 97, on which he interviewed countless hip hop stars and aired out or inflamed beef between rappers. In January, K-Slade family announced he was in the hospital with COVID-19. His brothers later told Hip Hop DX that he had a long time to go before he could start his recovery. Talent manager Whack 100, who called K-Slay his brother, friend, business partner, and mentor, said the two had been friends for 20 years. For months, he updated followers on K-Slay's health and progress in the hospital. In a statement on the website, Hot 97 said it was shocked and saddened by the loss of our beloved K-Slay, a a cultural icon. The street sweeper K Slade was more than just a DJ to us. He was a family and a vital part of what made Hot 97 the successful station it is today. And this is so powerful. I wasn't fully around for DJ K Slay. I didn't really grow up around them timings with, Grandmaster Flash and stuff like that. But I do have somebody that has knowledge on the history behind, the DJ K Slay and Grandmaster Flash and just how all of this came about. But I definitely know that he played a very prominent position in the industry as far as in the DJ world and doing his mixtapes and the debut albums that he dropped and all the artists that he was able to come in contact with during his time of just being here and living. And I'm so saddened to hear that he passed away and suffered major complications due to having COVID. um God rest his soul, and R.I.P. to DJ K Slay, and my condolences to him and his family. Um, like I said, it's always saddened to hear when you hear good people go, definitely. I also wanted to jump right in and bring up something else that I said is also breaking news. Bear with me, guys, because I'm like running a little bit behind time. Hold on one moment. Hello, Puerto Rican 360
Peace,
and the
Justice.
Ultimate Caveman. Welcome, welcome, guys. Puerto
Peace,
Rican
peace.
360 and the Ultimate Caveman is in the building. So, yes,
Yes,
guys,
I'm
as you
sure.
can see, I started off discussing the ASAP Rocky situation and I gave everybody a preview, and I gave everybody a preview of the DJ K Slay um R.I.P. Situation as far as him passing away with COVID. And I definitely want to jump right back into that. I know the Ultimate Cane Man has some history on the story behind the Grandmaster Flash and DJ K Slay and all of that. So I would like to, allow you guys to speak on that and what's your feelings on him passing away at the age of 55.
It's unfortunate that K Slade died. Tragic, well, not really tragically because he was sick for a couple of months. I heard he was battling COVID. He was in the hospital for an extended period of time. His brother was giving updates on his health, and unfortunately, April 17th, he returned to the essence. Can you hear me?
I mean, for me, just being a young person, like I was saying previously before, he was a little bit before my time, but I am familiar with him. And it's just sad that at a young age, for me, I still consider 55 to be a young age, and
Right.
his life to come to such an end due to this, this virus that we have going on out here. And, when you have other underlying issues, unfortunately, certain things can take you in a different way with, different underlying issues. But just to
Absolutely.
know his storyline and, all the artists that he came across and the magic that he was able to capture while he was still alive doing the music, I can totally respect it.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of people aren't familiar with DJ K Slade. DJ K Slade wasn't first a DJ at first. You know, he was a graffiti artist back in the '80s, and you know he used to tag up. His tag name was Dez, D-E-Z, Dez. And if you are familiar with hip hop culture or hip hop history, one of the first hip hop movies was called Style Wars. It came out in 1983. If you get a chance to go on Tubi or Pluto, if you have that app, you might be able to watch the movie Style Wars. In that movie, you will see a young K Slade, known as Dez. And in that movie, he was showcasing his graffiti skills. You know, unfortunately, Slade, when he was doing his graffiti, it was during a time when Mayor Ed Koch was the mayor of New York City, and he really didn't care too much for graffiti. And a lot of people was going to jail during that time. Slade didn't go to jail for graffiti per se, but he was in prison in the '80s. And when he came out in the '90s, that's when he started doing the DJ thing.
And these are things that I think that, is vital for me, and that's something that I didn't know. And it's really important because, music is what makes up a lot of our community's story, because everything, we do as far as expression a lot of times were through music, and still is to a lot of degree through music. So it's definitely for me. I wish that, I probably would have got a chance to get a little bit more in depth with his story while he was alive, but I'm happy that I'm able to have somebody that has the knowledge on, what his accomplishments was while he was here.
Shit, I got a funny story about Slade, a personal story. Uh, I say around like in the early 2000s when like the mixtape thing was really popping, you know, the DVD thing was popping. I called myself trying to come out with a little EP. I had like 5 or 6 songs on the CD or whatever, and I had passed the CD to Shamel. A lot of people don't know who Shamel is. Shamel is his celebrity name is Papoose, but you know I know him as Shamel because we grew up in the same neighborhood together. So I had passed the CD to Papoose, hoping that he can give it to K Slade so it could play on the radio. And Slade, he's asked for like $1,500 for one song. So you know, I was a little offended behind it, but you know that's the nature of the business and shit. You know the payola shit. But yeah, that's my little personal story as far as Slade. Like that's like one of the only real dealings I ever had with him in a personal one-to-one level is through Shamel, through Pat.
Okay, okay. So you would definitely, in his own right, we would say that DJ K Slay is an icon in his
Yes,
own
indeed.
right for what he brought to the table.
Yeah,
I'm
Dez,
so
man,
sorry,
Dez
guys,
is
for your
good.
grief. I'm sorry I couldn't hear you. Can you say that again?
No, my bad, Justice. I said Dez, man, he was good, man. Dez, I mean, K Slade was good. You know, I know him as Dez too, you know, but Slade was good.
Yes, that's definitely what I get from just, reading partial of his stories, and just like I said, his accomplishment. And it's just sad when you hear that a life is gone because of something like COVID. That's something when you hear it, you're like, oh man. I mean, it could have been other situation that helps along the line with the COVID. We don't really know. Is no follow up as far as I know, but if it is, I will, keep on following the story to get any new updates. But I would like everybody to take a moment. If you're coming in or you're going to view the video, please subscribe, hit the up like button, notification bell. So every time I go live, you'll know. I just wanted to drop in and give you guys some breaking news, because just the death of DJ K Slay, that was breaking news in itself. And it's very saddened to the hip hop community. As you see, he was the major part of Hot 97. That was something that I learned today. But knowing that he just played a major part, so my condolences definitely to his family. Puerto Rican 360 and Ultimate K-Man. How do you feel about the ASAP Rocky situation and them trying to arrest him?
I find it kind of strange that one week he was so-called cheating on Rihanna. Now this week they're trying to charge him with a shooting that happened like 6 months ago. I'm like, this is the first I'm ever hearing of it. Actually, that he supposedly was implicated in a shooting. That right there shocked me because I don't see him doing that type of thing. So,
I actually feel the same way you feel. I feel the same way you feel. I almost feel like it was a setup for a downfall.
yeah, they
Some
wanted to
type
take
of
Rocky
downfall.
down.
Yeah, something. Puerto Rican 360, what's your opinion on it? Do you think like is the ulterior motive to why they're going after ASAP Rocky the way that they are?
Well, maybe they're using this as a distraction, to cover up the fact that that belly his woman got is really not real. That's my opinion. I'm just saying. I never listen, man.
That's
It's the
deep. That's deep.
quickest 9 fucking months I've ever seen in my life. That bitch belly got so fucking big so quick. It's like, what did you do? Pump air in that shit?
But hold on. Perhaps she didn't come out right away with her pregnancy. She didn't reveal her pregnancy supposedly to what they're saying. She didn't reveal it until she was like at least 5 months.
Man, listen, I seen a picture of her and she didn't have no stomach and it was already saying, oh, she might be pregnant. And then 2 months later, that bitch was 6 months pregnant. I was like, damn, that was quick.
Well, perhaps they might be
Yeah, I
doctoring
don't
the hell.
know. I can't pass judgment on that part. I'm
I mean, it's a tough sell. It's a tough sell as far as the pregnancy thing because I can't really say.
because I'm gonna be honest with you. Me being pregnant, one minute my stomach was like there, and then next minute my stomach was like, oh my god, my stomach is here. Like, oh my goodness. The next thing you knew, it was like the baby's here. But yet and still, through my process, for me, it felt quick and long at the same time. Because coming towards the ending felt the longest, but going through the pregnancy from that beginning of the first trimester to the second felt like it went like one, two, three. And I felt like my stomach grew overnight once I hit the second trimester.
Right. And another thing I have to say about Mr. ASAP Rocky, I wouldn't be having no baby with a nigga that's walking around with a purse and nails. I'm good.
What? 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 Run that back. Run that back. What happened?
He did an interview with Angie Martinez. Yeah, Angie Martinez. And on video, and he had a purse, he had a pocketbook, woman's pocketbook, and he had tips on.
But we had the dress on the GQ magazine.
Yep. So I don't know. I wouldn't be having a baby with no nigga like that. I'm sorry.
So, are you trying to tell me that he gives you bisexual vibes?
Possibly.
Possibly. He talk about it's fashion. No, nigga, that's not fashion. Okay.
Real men just don't wear no dress. Period. No, I don't fashion
But
or
let me
not.
tell you, when I seen Young Thugger come out with I don't know, I don't know what was going on. I don't know. He had a skirt on. He was in a video
Oh, he's a
with
hot
all these
mess.
tattoos, and I'm saying to myself, like, what is happening? But then more and more rappers started doing it.
Yeah, because they're trying to push this androgynous bull crap.
Dress.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky with the
And the
dress.
shit is whack. They're tainting hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is a sacred culture. Like, listen, man, your sexual preference, right, shouldn't have to reflect in your artistry. You know how many gay, lesbian, painters, composer, all kind of careers they are in the world that are very successful. Are they walking around with a fucking sign Oh, I'm a lesbian. Oh, I'm homosexual. I'm bisexual. I'm binary, and all these other fucking titles they got. Shit's whack. Your sexuality and your sexual preference should be your own business.
Rocky with nails.
It shouldn't be for the business of the world.
No, I agree. I agree with that part 100% because I feel like even with heterosexual couples, and it doesn't have to do with, what your preference is. I just feel like there's certain things that should be left behind closed doors. Give me one moment, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You said Rocky's nails. Look at that.
I definitely wanted to come in and just speak on that really quickly because tomorrow morning I want to pick back up and really get into it and really dive in to especially the topic dealing with the ASAP Rocky. Hold on 1 minute, guys. This is Zori. She's up from her sleep and she gets a little fussy when she gets up. But yeah, I want to actually dive into the ASAP Rocky, and I have something else that's really interesting, and it has to do with the Prince of Saudi Arabia, and I want to definitely discuss that. But I definitely wanted to come in and just put out there what's the breaking news and what I will be following to keep everybody updated. Puerto Rican 360. Do you have anything you would like to say to everybody? And will you be back tomorrow morning so we could get busy and, have this conversation?
Definitely be back tomorrow morning. I really don't know anything about the Prince of Saudi Arabia, but I'll definitely look into it and get some notes and some stuff to discuss.
Well, it seems like the Prince of Saudi Arabia is going after Joe Biden. Well, let's say skin mask. Allegedly. Okay,
AKA skin
allegedly. you know, allegedly. My opinion, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Odyssey podcast, and I thank everybody who's going to pull up and look at the video. I will be back tomorrow morning. Puerto Rican 360 and Ultimate K Man. Hopefully, you'll be back to join me also in the morning. And we're going to dive deep into these topics and have a deep discussion at least for an hour and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, these topics are on fire because it be something more deeper than what the eye is really showing us, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
like I said, it's your girl, Word Justice. It's the Odyssey podcast. Please stay tuned. We'll be back. Please subscribe, hit the uplight button, notification bell. So every time that I go live, you guys will be notified. I'm going to leave Puerto Rican 360 and the Ultimate K Man with the last words. And then we out of here.
I just want to say, people, thank you for joining us on the Odyssey podcast. Thank you for supporting my niece. She's working really hard on trying to build her channel. If you have any topics, any suggestions of topics, please put them in the comments section so we can touch base on it. And if any content creators are interested in any intros, my husband, Ultimate K Man, and we have a production company. We are a legit production company and we make intros. Everything is original beats. We don't use other people's music because that is copyright infringement. If you're interested, you can either leave a comment on the Theodicy podcast and Justice will get in touch with us, or you can hit us on our Instagram at skullcrusher_7. And thank you, everyone, and hope to see you tomorrow in the morning. Peace.
Peace.